Hello, everybody, and welcome to Flag Football Nation. My name is Coach Adam, and today we're going to be going over part 2 of our air raid scheme. And today we're going to go over formations that we use, the motions that we use, and the personnel, and where you want to put your players within the air raid offense for flag football. And so the first is going to be our ace formation. And so we have two receivers out wide on either side. As you see, the X receiver is going to be 7 yards away from the center. And then the Z receiver is going to be 7 yards away from the center as well. And then the Y is going to be 5 yards from the center and then 2.5 yards off of the line of scrimmage. What I often tell my Y receivers is I want them to be in the middle of the center and the quarterback. And so the quarterback's going to be 5 yards from the center in a shotgun formation, and then the Y is just going to split them. So that's our ace formation. Next is going to be a formation we call Patriot. And so Y is now going to be on the line of scrimmage and 7 yards away from the center. And now the Z is going to be farther out, 9 yards total. And then they're going to be 2 yards away from the Y and then 2 yards back from the Y receiver. And so we nicknamed this Patriot because this is a formation that utilizes what we call short motion, which was influenced by the Patriots' AFC Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs, where they, on the final drive, they used a formation like this to get Julian Edelman in space. And this is something that we've been able to capitalize on running this offense. And so the first motion that we're going to go over is our jet motion. It's just what we do is we use a wave, just bring him on over, and that signals him to come in motion. And then we'll snap the ball. That basically just goes off of our jet sweep or any play action pass that goes off of that jet motion. The next one is our short motion. As I talked about previously, the Patriot formation always includes this short motion. Again, we just signal with a wave to let that Z receiver know to come into a stack behind the Y receiver. And so if there is a confusion as far as the quarterback not snapping the ball on time, we tell the Z receiver to just run in place essentially before that is snapped. So his legs continuously move until the ball is snapped. And then last is our rip motion. And this is just a standard motion where the Y will come across the field and be settled before the quarterback snaps the ball. And so this does multiple things for us. It now flips the formation, changes the strong side, and then it also can give us a tell whether it's man or zone. If the defender in front of the Y follows the Y, we know it's man. Or if nothing changes in the defensive formation, we know it is zone. So that is a tell that we can use to our advantage whenever it comes to motion. So the personnel, quarterback is going to be the best option to throw the ball. Does not have to be an athlete, but is able to understand reads and go where the ball goes. And we really want accuracy before arm strength. Having both is fantastic, but we know that's not always going to be the case. So being able to have accuracy rather than arm strength is something that we're going to prefer. The air raid offense uses triangle reads and pure progression reads, and so it's just able to make it easier on the quarterback. So the quarterback is going to be somebody that you usually want to draft if you do draft in your league. Like I do, the quarterback's going to be either the first pick, or going to be the second pick. It just depends on how many quarterbacks you have in the pool. What are there better athletes in the pool in front of the quarterbacks? Do you have backup options? It just depends. But the quarterback is usually either the first or the second pick in the draft. So the wide receiver is going to be the best athlete, the overall receiver. We really want to find a guy with speed here. He's usually going to be, if your quarterback goes in the first, you're going to want to pick your Y second, or vice versa. If you have really good athletes in the first round and you're able to snag one of those athletes and then you have some backup options at quarterback, that's going to be your Y. Second best receiver is going to be your Z, or your best hands receiver. Doesn't have to be a great athlete, but we really want a possession receiver type of thing. They're going to be the first option on plays like mesh and stick and switch. So having good hands is going to be the best option here for your Z. And then the X is going to be your third best receiver. This is usually a little bit farther down in the draft board because by the third round, you should be having your quarterback, your Y, your Z, and then you're trying to find whoever's best later on. So in my leagues, we have a roster for 5-on-5. We had a roster of 8 players, so we had 8 rounds. In my 6-on-6 league, we had, depending on how many kids showed up, we had 10. So we were able to stock up on Y and Z receivers, and then the X is going to be pretty much who's ever left. So really you want to look for your speed. You want to be able to have somebody who can develop into having better hands. And if you're able to find both of that lower rounds, maybe an underrated player, then that's perfect for us. And then the center is going to be pretty much the rest of the pack. Now you're going to be looking at the lower final rounds of the draft. Ideally, we want, speed is going to be the best because you can't teach speed. You can teach everything else, but it's not a must. I've had kids that haven't been great athletes, but they've been great centers for us. And so one thing is a teaching point that I have for not a lot of players want to play center. They think, unfortunately, a lot of kids have experience playing center and then never found the ball, never got the ball, always were overlooked. And so in the air raid, we use pick plays. We call them screens, but obviously in flag football, you can't block. So screens is going to be, apologies. Screens are going to be something that can be a hitting point to anybody that wants to play center, because whenever we go into no run zones, plays like the center screen that I will preview in a future video are go-tos that we go to, and the center scores more touchdowns than anybody, because whenever we get to that goal line no run zone area, we're going to be hitting center screen probably first play. So that's something about that. So if you guys like this type of video, please let me know. I'm looking to continue to grow this channel as we go along. And Christmas is going to be here in a couple days, so I'd like to at least release one more video before then. But I appreciate everybody who watches this video. Give us a like, subscribe, join the community. We're looking to grow and continue this air raid series. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment and let me know how you feel. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you guys.